Goeienaand, good evening fellow South Africans and citizens of the world, and welcome to our second Real People, and we have a cracker for you tonight. Goeienaand, good evening fellow South Africans and citizens of the world, and yes, it's going to be a cracker tonight. I'm going to be talking to Eugene, who's a young man who's set up a security business in Pretoria, and you'll see his contact details below the video, and obviously we'd like people who are looking for security perhaps to support him. Now, Eugene's main language is Afrikaans, so I've told him he can break into Afrikaans if he needs to, although the interview will be mainly in English. And please feel free to post your questions in side chat. If a moderator, Jaco, perhaps you could just cut and paste the questions for presenting to Eugene later in this live stream. Alrighty, let me get Eugene online and let the conversation begin. Give me a second. Hi, Eugene.
Hi, Scott. How are you?
Good. And your setup looks perfect. I hope everybody can hear Eugene well in the side chat there. Now, Eugene, you were a baby in 1994 in the apartheid era, weren't you? Hi, Eugene. Can you hear me?
Hi, Scott. Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay. What I asked is, you were a baby in 1994, so you missed the apartheid era, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Can you tell us about what it was like growing up as a young boy during that period?
Me growing up, it was a lot different than now. It was easier than now. What I mean to say is, okay. What I mean is there wasn't that much of racism going on. All of us could be friends, but it's a lot different now. And can you see me?
Yeah, absolutely we can see you. Yeah, you can't see me because my camera's been captured by the the program I'm using for the live stream. But we can see you perfectly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Did I answer the question?
Yeah, that's cool. Now,
Africa.
How are your family coping with things like BEE? I'm talking about your parents and maybe brothers and sisters. What are they doing to try and get around that?
Well, a lot of us joined. So we are trying to fight it.
Sorry, sorry,
The BEE thing.
Eugene, could you start that again? We lost
Yes.
your signal.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so me and a lot of people in my family joined a political party to try and fight the BEE thing in South Africa. Well, we haven't had much success yet, but hopefully in the future we can do something about it.
Okay. And we're
That's difficult for a lot of our people.
yeah we're losing your connection from time to time.
Okay, just hold on a sec. Let me see
Sure.
what I can do different.
While Eugene's doing that, good to see a lot of people here. Jaco, Michelle. Hi to everybody else in the side chat. We're just trying to sort out this connection. Won't be long.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back. Yep. Yeah, let's see how we go with that now.
Hopefully a bit better.
Yeah. Okay. So again, just talking about your family situation with BEE. Can you go through that for us?
Yeah, I'm not sure what you heard the first time. Let me just repeat that.
Yeah, just repeat
Okay,
it for us.
so me and a lot of my members of my family joined a political party
Right.
trying to fight the BE thing in South Africa. Because that's a difficult thing for a lot of us, not only my family, but for a lot of South Africans. It's getting difficult to find jobs, difficult to start companies, difficult to run companies because you can't tender for any government tender without the PE status. So yeah, we are trying to fight that. Hopefully, we can have some success in the future.
Yeah. Okay. Now, how did you personally find getting a job in South Africa when you left school? Did you have issues trying to get a job?
No, I was one of the lucky ones. Well, I left school in a young stage of my life. So the day I walked out of school, it was the day I started by a company named also Kestrel Network Solutions. It was my uncle's company. So for me, it was quite easy, and I had to work very hard to get where I am now. But some other people in my family wasn't so fortunate to start working there, and they still until today struggling to find a job in South Africa.
So how do they survive?
With help, um, luckily, luckily, some of the people in my family is helping the other ones. So yeah, otherwise, it will be difficult.
Yeah, because
I can, I can just I can
there
just
is.
imagine how people. Sorry, Scott.
Yeah, it's okay. There is extreme persecution going on against the white minority group in South Africa.
Yeah.
And these BEE policies are clearly part of that. So tell us your journey getting into the security business. How did that start?
Well, the first time I've started working, it's been a long ways until now. But I haven't been in the security industry for a long time. I've actually done civil works for a long time. I was only getting into security around about 2 years ago,
Yeah.
3 years ago. But anyway, so I started. Well, I was without a job, like I said yesterday. So then on Facebook, my mother saw an advert that said they help people that hasn't got a job to get their security grades and put them through like a camp type of story. So I went there and got my security grade, and I saw it's something I want to do. It's something I can do to help safety in South Africa. And then also I wanted to help a lot of other people in my family and friends that were struggling without work.
Yeah.
So I started thinking, how can I help them? I need to do something to help them and help myself
Right.
and my family. So thought about starting my own company.
And how long have you had your own company now?
It's around about seven months now. So it's still a
Okay.
young company, but we're young people and doing things different.
Yeah. And you obviously employ family members in your company.
Yeah, I do, but not only family members.
Yeah.
Other people I can help as well.
Fantastic. And do you have a BEE issue when it comes to security company?
Well, no, not yet. Um, but I am BE registered. But no, I haven't. It hasn't come to that yet.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think it's coming. I think it's gonna hit us.
Yeah, because they seem to be putting the screws on everything, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Which brings me to an interesting point. You've heard of the new gun regulations that have got before the Parliament right now?
Yes.
The ones that are aimed at restricting security companies when it comes to using automatic weapons and where they can use weapons?
Yeah.
What are your views on that?
I don't like it at all. Me and thousands of other people disagrees a lot. If the South African police can't protect us, if security then won't be able to protect us, who is going to protect us?
Exactly.
There's nobody else. The SANDF, I don't know what's happening there. So that, I don't know, we're trying to fight it, but hopefully it can be a win for us. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I heard the ridiculous situation where you, as a security person, are not allowed to take a gun into a school ground. So technically, when you go and collect the money from the school, you've got to leave your gun behind to go and get the money, or they've got to walk down to the gate with the money where you meet them. Is that correct?
Yeah, and that's correct. And you're not even allowed, a weapon holder is not allowed to leave his weapon somewhere. So he won't be able to leave his weapon in the car, bucky, or cash in transit vehicle to go fetch the money. And even now, the teacher, whoever carries the money to the gate, that's a risk. So if something should happen, or something happens to that teacher on his way to the gate, me as a security guard or cash in transit, I'm not allowed to go in with my weapon to help.
Wow.
And I'm not allowed to leave my weapon, so I just have to look what's happening.
So you can't provide any assistance at all.
Not at all.
So let's take a hypothetical situation where you get a bunch of thugs who go in armed into a school and start stealing from the teachers and abusing the kids. You're saying to me that security can't come in and be part of the situation.
Not if he carries a gun with him.
So it's like leading sheep to the slaughter in the school.
Correct.
That is ridiculous.
It's bad, but me personally, I won't leave somebody getting hurt. Well, stand and watch how it happens. So whatever happens to me must happen then, because I'm going in to help.
Yeah. So you would take your gun and just take them on.
I will definitely.
And I think
I think any normal person will do that.
Absolutely. And I think if they try to pull that stupid law out and said, well, you broke the law, I think the whole of South Africa would come up against the government.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Which would be a good thing, right?
Yeah. Now, what are the major types of jobs you take on with your company?
Guarding so far. This is the major one, and then we've only started now with the armed reaction. But again, the armed reaction, I'm not sure what's going to happen with that um, after this gun theory of the government kicks. So a lot of security companies don't know what's going to happen, and I think a lot of them are going to lose work as soon as that thing kicks in.
So they're going to get more unemployed people on the streets.
Yes.
This government is incredible.
Yeah, you can say that again.
I heard that yesterday that one of the biggest security companies in South Africa, I think it's Fidelity Guards, they were late in getting 900 licenses renewed, and now they've been told to hand those guns in. Did you hear about that?
I did, yeah, I did.
What's the update there?
I haven't seen the update. I only also heard about it, but it's bad. It's okay. Well, it's actually bad on their side as well. So I hope they can sort that out and get their weapons back.
Yeah. Now, is that run by a BEE employee, Fidelity Guards?
I'm not sure. I'd like to know myself.
Because the reason I ask that is because I believe the reason the licenses weren't renewed in time is because the person who was with the company left, and no one bothered to check until the last minute, and they said, "Whoa, we got to renew these licenses," and by then it was too late.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah.
But I will find out and I will let you know.
Okay, cool. Now, what I'm seeing here is that the government, it's like wringing water out of a towel. They're just trying to wring the whole life out of the security of the minority groups, and in particular the white people, because they're making it harder and harder for them to defend themselves. What are your views on that?
I don't know what are they thinking. If that would be the case, there's black people as well. That I think there are more registered security companies in black empowerment than there is white.
Yeah.
So they are not only hurting us as white people, but all of us in South Africa.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's also a difficult, almost a difficult question to answer. I want to protect myself. They mustn't come with the story that people must give up the personal weapon. Yeah. Because then they're really going to try and disarm us now.
Well, aren't they saying that you can no longer have a license with a gun for protecting yourself? That's not a reason?
No. Privately, you can still have your license with your gun. You're just not allowed to use your private weapon for security purposes.
Right. Okay. So you can still defend yourself with a gun legally.
Yes, you can. You can definitely.
Okay. Well,
they're going to struggle to take that one away.
That's good to know. Now, I'm going to be inviting a friend of mine to join us shortly. His name is Dwayne. He actually lives in Pretoria. But before I do, and what you can both discuss is how you think things are going in Pretoria, and he obviously will be talking from a personal perspective, and you'll be talking from someone who's in the game.
Yes.
Now, what has been the most dangerous situation you have personally been in as a security guard?
That would be when I was still on my previous security company,
right.
When I haven't started the business yet. And I was guarding a place that was a yard that was filled with trucks. And the owner of this place, I don't know, he had a death threat on his life or something like that. So one night, I was on a night shift that night, me and my K9 friend, were guarding the place, and I was at the gate, and there was two gates, one down on the road and one about 200 meters from the road where I was posted.
Right.
But every night at 8, I had to go close the gate down by the road. So I took my dog, took a walk down to the gate, and a car stopped next to me, pulled a gun on me, and said to me, okay, I'm not going to name names now, but he told me, tell the owner of the place we are coming. That was, I don't know, I've been gun pointed before, but that was different. That guy, I almost thought he's going to shoot me or the dog to send a message.
Right.
But anyway, I picked up my dog, turned around, ran up to the top gate, locked the gate, and waited for backup. Yeah, I think that was the most, well, how can I put this? In Afrikaans. Ek was die meeste, meer op my senuwees daar as enige ander tyd.
Right. What you're saying is you are most on edge than ever before. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
on that night.
Yeah. Now, have you had friends in the security business who've been murdered or shot on the job?
No, not me. Luckily, not me.
Yeah.
But I think it's still coming. I know of people that's been shot. I heard about every second day the security guard gets burned or shot. Or luckily, it doesn't happen to me.
Yeah.
And hopefully never.
Yeah. And these cash and transit burglaries, they just, they blow the vehicle up. Where do they get this stuff?
I'm not sure. That's the other thing now the government is saying for the weapon things. They say a lot of the robbers, especially with the cash and transit thing, get their weapons by security companies. But I disagree. I think you hear stories about police stations being raided, corrupt police officers that gives away their weapons. So I think the weapons is coming from there, and the explosive maybe from the SANDF, because I heard a while ago, Bucky of the SANDF has been robbed, carrying lots of explosives. A warehouse has been emptied, a lot of explosives being in there. So yeah, explosives are, well, construction companies as well, they do carry explosives, but that's the only places they can get it.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's something very strange going on there. Yeah. Okay. Now, I'm going to invite Dwayne to come and join us, but before I do, are there any questions that people have posted in the side chat? And while we're just waiting for those...
I haven't seen the question.
While we're waiting for those questions, someone's going to cut and paste them for us. Now, with your own company, your own security company, are you able to help people who want their backup from the home situation and things like that?
Excuse me, please say that again.
Okay. Now, let's say, for example, I'm looking for someone to be like a response to a home invasion. Do you do that sort of work?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Well, we've got panic buttons that we can give out of, and then an app on the phone as well, where somebody can push the panic. We track the phone, and we go out and out.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely.
So if there's anyone here in the side chat in the Pretoria region who's looking for some panic response at home, Eugene is your man. Now, let's look at the side chat. Yako says, jury is online, question. Have you noticed an increase in brutality and crime, or is it more or less the same, only more frequent?
Well, I think there's an increase. Every day the stats just grow. All over South Africa. Yeah, definitely an increase.
Did you hear what they did? Did you hear what they did to the N12 near Potchefstroom?
No, I haven't. But I saw your video. I just didn't have the time yet to have a look there.
Yeah, they actually got they stole a grader or a heavy equipment and they dug the road up, the whole N12 up. They dug it up.
I'm not
You can't drive along it. I mean, it's
that's
just
bad.
crazy.
Yeah, it is. It
And
is.
Michelle writes, I see on the news that they are arresting police officers in increasing numbers for crimes and robberies and farm murders. What are your views on that?
Well, me and the police has got a a bad history. I've got no time for the South African police. They've locked me up for no reasons. Well, my case, when they locked me up, my case has been thrown out of court and my name is cleared again. But they locked me up for 3 reasons: interfering, resisting arrest, and criminal endurance. But yeah, the next morning I was cleared and out of that situation again. But police officers, I don't know what's going on there. The corruption there, it's bad. I'm actually happy to hear they're starting to arrest some of them, but I don't think it's going to help.
Yeah. Okay, look, I'm going to get Dwayne to come and join us. He's here in the side chat, so I'm going to just invite him to the conversation because, as I said, Dwayne lives in Pretoria, and he might like to share with you his experiences as well. Hi, Dwayne, are you here? He's just getting himself online. Any other questions people would like to ask? Okay, Jaka says, what area in Gauteng do you cover, and do you cooperate with local CPF and or Dexter and Commando Corps?
For now, we're in the whole of Pretoria, and then the side to Pretoria where Hammanskraal is, and we're going to start moving out to Kempton Park.
Right.
Well, I still need to speak to somebody in Kempton Park because I know another owner from another security company in that region. I would like to join forces with him, but I'll speak to him about that.
Yeah. So you're basically
for now,
you're basically expanding your operation, which is fantastic. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Dwayne, are you
here? Trying to get on.
I can hear your voice, but I can't see your camera. We'll just continue talking while you
access my cam for some other reason. I might drop and join the call again. Give me 10 seconds.
Sure, no problems. Oh, there you are. Now I see you.
You see me?
Yeah.
We do.
Okay, Eugene, meet Dwayne. Dwayne lives in Pretoria as well. So, you've got a lot of things that you can share and discuss. Dwayne, would you like to throw a few questions at Eugene?
Yes, most certainly. Eugene, so what area of Pretoria are you guys based? I see the guys in the side chat. Sorry, Eugene. Welcome to Love and Laugh. I just usually... jump into it. A lot of the guys in the side chat are asking in which area you're based within Pretoria.
We are based in the Waverley area, but covering the whole Pretoria area.
Okay, so you cover, we can say from the west all the way through to the east?
Correct, yes.
Oh, okay, and how many vehicles do you guys have in and on the road?
11 now.
11, that's brilliant, have you noticed an increase in crime within certain areas within Pretoria, and which would those areas be in your view?
Yeah, definitely. The area I noticed a lot around the last, let's say, 2 weeks is Montana.
Okay.
Montana was quite quiet until around about 2 weeks ago.
Yes, Montana is perceived usually as relatively safe, isn't it? Especially if you look at the airport and that entire section moving towards the highway. We had a few clients out there, and things usually ran. You felt safe on the roads and so forth, so on. But you say that there is a bit of a increase in crime.
Yeah.
What sort of crime is it?
Break-ins mostly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So home invasion.
Yeah, well,
And-
mostly company invasion. Like offices,
Is it?
stuff like that.
During
I've got a friend that owns.
sorry, you were saying you've got a friend that owns?
I've got a friend that owns a car dealership in Montana, in Zambezi Road. And he was robbed twice last week. The first time he was robbed, the laptop was stolen. And then just after that, they installed security cameras. And 2 days after that, they hit him again. Stealing a bottle.
And these business invasions, mostly armed, unarmed?
Mostly unarmed.
Okay. And then
that's good news at least.
And then obviously outside of business hours.
Yes.
Yes. I've actually also know quite a few of the guys in the whole used vehicle. Everyone knows someone on Zambezi.
Yeah, I know.
But I remember of a few years back where they were talking about just all of the batteries being taken out of the cars, where the car's bonnets are ripped open and batteries are just taken. That batteries are the key. And then likewise, not just with the car dealerships, the actual trucks, delivery trucks, are targeted for batteries. Have you noticed that?
Yes, heavily. Trucks mostly actually for batteries, because I think it's just because it's more money. The batteries is a lot bigger.
Yes.
Than a normal car's battery. Yeah.
And I mean, they can't be tracked and so forth, so on, and that's when you would, implement the services of one of the tracking companies. Do you guys work with any of the tracking companies in Pretoria?
No, not yet.
Okay.
We are thinking about doing that ourselves and going into that area as well.
Okay. Well, I've definitely got a contact for you on that. Love in Life gets a lot of email. And we do have a new upcoming tracking company, and they are just absolutely phenomenal. I've used them a bit. You can shut off cars just from a click of your cell phone. It's absolutely outstanding. But we'll chat later about that. The proposed. I wanted to just jump back to the proposed gun grab. Would you guys defend it all the way to court? Or would you not defend and just be more, I don't want to say hard-headed about it, or militant, but would you guys legally defend your right to perform your jobs?
Definitely. I'm willing to go all the way with that. And I think there's a lot of us that's willing to go all the way with that, because it's a lot of, how can I put it? Sorry, my English is a bit bad.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Peace, man. But yeah, I think I'm willing to go all the way.
Yes.
How are you going to help people without, especially in places that need weapons?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Ian, funny or one of the other sides of it is you still need to. No one can restrict you from working. I mean, this does bring about employment. There, it is a massive sector within South Africa, and at the end of the day, it employs millions of South Africans. That effect, I've heard of cash in transit heists, and I don't know if you can confirm this, where I mean, some of the cash in transit guys literally don't even have time to open up the back door of these cash in transit vehicles, and they're fired upon, they're murdered just in cold blood.
Yeah. Just for a couple of bucks in the bag.
And without the defense of being armed, it's just at the end of the day going to become a free for all. What's your view on that?
Exactly, it's going to become a free for all. But I just want to say that the new thing they're putting in about the weapons thing is cash in transit is still allowed to use weapons.
Oh, thank heavens!
But the guard opening the safe at the bank for the money to go out or to carry the money out is not allowed to use the weapon.
What?
Or any weapon. So,
that's when they're the most at risk.
Yeah, so you've got a guy guarding R1 million, and you've got a guy coming to fetch R100 of that R1 million. The guy transporting the R100, he can use his weapon, but the guy guarding the R1 million is not allowed to. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
And
no, most certainly. But isn't there a fear of that it could be inside jobs and this is what I'm noticing with the schools. People are then making laws, for example, let's say this gun law, and they're proposing these alterations, but they don't realize, yes, there may be one or two radicals out there where there would be a negative reaction from him, where he would go into a school and really, just lose his marbles. But then at the end of the day, they just ban everyone right across the board. And then the same with the banks. You're not allowed in the bank with a weapon, but the bank still needs to be defended, even though there may be one criminal carrying a gun within a security organization. I'm not saying that they are, but let's play devil's advocate that there could be someone like that, and they did hold up the bank. It's only one person, but I mean, if you think of the hundreds of collections throughout every single day throughout the whole of South Africa, it just doesn't justify it. What's your view on people making those laws?
Oh, I think they're sitting safely behind a desk and don't care about anything else or anybody else than themselves. And they just want to seem important for this thing or for the moment. They're not thinking it through, like the job loss and the safety loss and all of that stuff.
Yes.
Now, yes. I've got a couple of questions here. Petra's asked, would you take a job application from someone who's 60 years old?
I will definitely. I got a CV a while ago where the guy's wife contacted me. He said he can't find a job anywhere because he's too old. So then I drove, I think it was yesterday, or the day before yesterday. I drove along the road and I saw the old guy sitting next to the road without house, without nothing. So I'm wondering, I'm in this job, I started this business to help people, and that's to help everybody. So I will take somebody that age. But I must say again, I will find something for him to do. But I can't take somebody that maybe, for instance, cannot walk. Well, we can put somebody in the office like that, but not for a security guard or something like that.
Sure. Okay, now we've got quite a few questions that are coming through.
Yes. I've got one from Yaku. What is your average reaction time from time you receive the call or panic button to reaction? Actually being on scene.
We haven't worked out that average yet, but I can give a couple of minutes, like 4 minutes. There was a one for 6 minutes, and there was a one for 11 minutes.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
Well, it's a hell of a lot quicker than the police, who take about 2 days to come over.
Yeah, they do. You have to tell the police, listen, I just shot somebody dead, and then they're there in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I don't see them.
It depends which police. Not all SAPS are bad, guys. Some of them are remarkable. They really are. I know a few SAPS guys that are just out of this world. They're the best amongst us. Chris, has Eugene seen this? This one's from Chris Bard. Has Eugene seen the video footage of a few hundred AK-47s and R1s with 2 million rounds that was intercepted? The footage is floating through all security companies. I anticipate security company message boards that we received from Chris Bard.
I haven't seen that one. Is it now or?
Yeah, I think it happened the last day or two.
Is it?
Yeah.
Did Scott? Did you receive anything on it?
Yeah, I got a couple of emails about it. Yeah.
Is it? I can't remember seeing anything on it.
I think there's very little that happens in South Africa I don't hear about. Now, Jack Standers asked a question. Ask Eugene if they have heard about the proposed security gun grab, and it will comply. If they refuse to comply, they will take them to court. I think we've discussed that, haven't we?
Yes, yeah. We did ask that one. No guns, Eugene. Sorry, we've got the side chat open here, and it's just going crazy.
Yeah, a lot of IMs coming through.
Yaku says the Wederburg SAPS manne skop gat. Thanks, Yaku.
Weer werk.
Definitief.
Now, Stella Luna asked, have you got calls from residential areas regarding marked homes, where they actually put marks on the homes so that they can target them?
Yeah, we have, but that's a difficult thing because you never know what's a real mark and not. I know there is a list from SAT that they say this is a mark and this is a mark, but every second guy finding a paper in front of his house now thinks it's a mark, which it can be, but maybe not always.
So
yeah, it's difficult. I know myself a while ago in front of my house. I got a bullet on top of my gate.
Wow!
So I think that's a type of mark for watch out or something like that.
Yowza. But Scott, a lot of these markers throughout are papers and little rocks and so forth, so on. And it doesn't help that the city isn't kept as clean as what it should be.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these papers just float around the front side of your house, and I've noticed it a lot. You know, we get our rubbish collected. I'm going to use an example on Monday, and that afternoon, it's just papers right across the streets. It's just a nightmare, and everyone comes out. They start cleaning in front of their house, but at any one point, I think it eventually comes to a point where they can't actually use markers anymore because there's just so much rubbish. Anything and everything could be a marker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Jack Stander says the criminals will always have guns. When you remove the guns from the hand of law-abiding citizens, you doom him to lose before the fight has even begun.
Yeah, you can take a gun away from a law-abiding citizen, but you can't take away the gun from a criminal.
Well, the police are actually selling their guns to criminals. It's crazy. You know, in Cape Town, apparently there are two factions of the police that are pretty well at war with each other, and they both support different gangs in the Cape Town area. Have you heard of that?
No.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
Yep.
I've got family living in the Cape, and yeah, I heard it's quite bad there.
So, can you add any more information to that?
Not now, but I can chat to you about tomorrow. I will be able to give you confirmed information about it.
Perhaps just send me an email.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Sorry, Dwayne.
Then Eugene, thanks a lot, Scott. Then Eugene, one of the very big questions, and I think, you know, this is one that all of our subscribers just want to hear, is let's say we did go into an economic collapse, and I am playing a bit of devil's advocate here, and it really did go sour, and things were bad, as in there was no food on shelves, water wasn't working, electricity wasn't online. What is your security company's plan to protect your areas?
That's a good question,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm gonna have to work on an answer for that. So but not even just the answer. Our company itself is gonna have to work on that to give a good answer.
Definitely.
But definitely that's a good question, and I'm going to work on that.
Spoken to quite a few of the larger companies, or well, the staff within larger companies, and even some of the massive companies in South Africa all have these strategy meetings and have something, you know, papered down that if something should happen, and should something happen, that they actually have a plan moving forward with that company, and in some instances even their staff. I thought that was quite unique. I don't want to put any names out there. I don't think that's fair. But that companies definitely have a plan moving forward, and down on paper. It's just absolutely essential. And I think one of the big answers that we've noticed, especially from the larger prepper groups, is that support bugging in, which is staying within the city, is to work hand in hand with the SAPS. So I think that's definitely something that you guys would need to give a good squiz on. Scott, back to you.
Yeah. I was just thinking that, you know, I'm following the side chat, and you know, the gang violence that is now happening, it's no longer just a guy going out and robbing a home or home invasion. It's now a group of people who, as a profession, are a gang. And they might do carjackings, that might be their employment area, for example. But they're totally ruthless, and they are just, you know, they just commit so many different crimes the whole time. And when you have a gang that every day is doing a carjacking, for example, I can't understand why the police don't react and get these guys behind bars.
Yes.
That's it's sad to know there's some people waking up in the morning knowing they've got a job to go to, but their job is robbing other people.
Yeah.
It's the work for, and then you get the gangs, organized crime that, well, one group split in two. We are going to steal cars today, and the other one rob houses today. That happens.
Do you come across many of these gangs?
No, not yet in our area. By a year of them, especially in Cape Town. PE.
Now, from a legal perspective, let's say, for example, hypothetically, you catch a gang breaking into a house, okay, and you responded to a call. What are your options apart from calling the police?
Try and catch them and hold them until the police come.
Okay, so that's your number one objective. But let's say they start firing their guns off. Are you allowed to respond?
If he pulls the weapon on me and he fires that weapon, I am allowed to respond, yes.
Okay.
Me or anybody close to me, I can't protect them.
Because you had a situation recently, Dwayne, with a neighbor. If something happened.
Yes. definitely. Where the neighbor had a break-in, and he actually got injured on the one side of his arm. But all of the neighbors came out, and I think that's one of the worst things you want, because we have community policing forums, and those policing forums, they work tight with the SAPS and with one another. Our neighborhoods are very much vigilant, and just tons of people ended up coming outside. I don't like what I saw from the neighborhood, but at the end of the day, and this guy tried to kill one of them. So there's going to be a certain type of retaliation. Eugene, do you work hand in hand with the CPFs?
No, not on this stage, but we are. We are them.
Yes. I know that some of the CPFs within Pretoria don't like to work with the security companies because they do tie into SAPS, and their mandate is very structured and laid out as per SAPS. So to tie into some of the security companies isn't always ideal, but there are ways, and some of them actually have great relationships. Even with the ambulance services, I've started noticing that the security companies, such as yourselves, usually stop and hang out with like-minded workers on the road. So you would find the tow truck companies are together with the security companies, are together with the ambulances, purely for safety. Because, they're attacked late at night in the middle of the dark. Do you want to talk to us a bit about that?
So I had a little bit of a signal problem there, so I didn't hear everything you said. But I know a lot of security people is being attacked at night, and then only maybe to steal their guns or something like that, or just to send a point. You can be here and guard the place, but we're still going to get past you.
Yes.
But it's South Africa.
But your line of work must be one of the most dangerous occupations in the world today.
Well, I think it's dangerous. A lot of people in my family tried to stop me opening the company, but because it's dangerous. But somebody needs to do it. Well, if I say somebody, there's a lot of the companies just in it for the money. I see there's about 8,800 registered security companies in South Africa.
Wow.
That's a big number.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah. But I think a lot of them is just in it for the money.
Yes. Scott, I wanted to just jump back to something you said. I did a quick search here.
Yeah.
Gauteng, as per IOL, Gauteng is still SA's hijacking capital, with 23 cars taken per day. Now we're talking hijackings, eh?
Yeah.
So that's the stat of what we were talking about earlier. I do have another question, and Eugene, before I come back to you, subscribers, please hit that like button, click on subscribe, tap that bell. It takes a lot to get these live streams going, and you can show us a little bit of that love by clicking that thumbs up. So tap, and we'll know that you guys are liking these live streams. We're going to jump straight back to Eugene with another question. Eugene, Yaku's asked, do all of your armed response officers have accreditation? And what is your monthly rate? I don't expect you to give your monthly rate online, but are all of your officers accredited?
Yes, well, I lost the question a bit there. I don't know. There's something wrong with my signal again. But yes, they are. And then, you said something about the monthly rate. Do I
yes,
pay them according to? I pay them a CIRA rate according to the CIRA rate.
Okay. Jack's asked a bit of a race question there, and I don't think we should address that because I don't think that that's relevant. We all understand how these things work. You employ workers from all races, yes? You support the whole... Eugene? Eugene, can you hear me?
I think Eugene's... Let me try. Eugene,
Yep.
what Dwayne asked is, do you employ people of all races?
Yes, yes, we do. I'm not gonna do. Look, there's a lot of people in South Africa that's good people, and that's all the colours as well.
Mm.
I just don't like a guy, and I will not employ a guy that's racist. That's something.
Yes,
I think
no.
I answered that question, yeah.
I think a lot of it comes down to minorities and needs, and I think Jack, you need to understand that there's a lot of people that just do not have jobs, that are homeless, and that have skills in this specific area, so that have been retrenched because of BEE from SAPS or even from the military. And obviously that plays to their strength moving into a security company. I don't think it's a case of race at all. So I don't like going down that road, but nonetheless. Scott, are there any questions you want to go in?
Yeah, I just would excuse my dog, my old fart. He's just having a senior's moment over there.
Bonsai.
Yeah, bonsai. I would like to know where you think South Africa is going. Do you think it's going to go into anarchy, or where do you think South Africa is going, Eugene?
I don't know, something wrong with my signal again. I'm sorry, but that question was for me, no?
Yeah. I asked, where do you think South Africa is going? Do you think it's going towards anarchy, or what's happening?
Down. Yeah, definitely. Things in South Africa is just getting worse and worse every day. And if I take 10 years back now, I don't even want to imagine how it's going to be 10 years from now.
Yeah.
So my personal plan is I started this company, going to help a lot of people, and then as soon as I can, I'm leaving South Africa. Giving the company to somebody else in the family or a good friend or whoever has the guts and the know-how to take the company further. But I'm taking my fiance and going.
Yeah.
As soon as I can.
Someone asked
and
you.
Hopefully the rest of my family as well.
Yeah, Jure asked, do you and other security companies have an emergency plan when there is anarchy in South Africa? Did you hear the question, Eugene?
That's almost like the same question. Yes.
Do the actual security companies have a plan?
We're gonna start working on a plan for that now.
Yeah.
I know I've got a personal plan for me and my family.
Yeah.
But I heard some of them do, and that's a very good thing. And I think we Kestrel Security also need to go into that and make a backup plan or something like that. We're definitely going to work on that.
Yeah.
Well, we got a few numbers for you if you need. We can definitely steer you in the right direction.
Sorry guys, the signal is a bit bad here.
That's fun.
Okay.
Are there any other questions from people in the side chat? Dwayne, is there something you'd like to ask Eugene?
Not in particular. I think I've covered everything that I saw in the side chat.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of what people would be interested in. It's just, I've got a lot of my own info, and I'm very, I have a general understanding of it. I just don't know what would be awfully too, for people that are not as well informed.
Yeah.
And what type of info they'd be looking for. Guys, if you do have questions, drop it in the side chat. Let's get those questions out.
Luke has asked, what training do you guys have on average? And then he says, CPO, any Ronin grads?
I didn't hear that.
Okay. Luke has asked, what training do you guys have on average? Is it CPO or any Ronin graduates, I guess it is.
I don't understand that question completely.
Okay, I guess the question is, what level of training do you have, or your people have?
Well, it depends on the job description. The only training I'm looking for now and are interested is in the, how can I say it? If I employ a guy for a security job, he needs to be CERA registered with the grade I want to employ him for instance, grade ED or C. So that's the training we've got. We are still working on a plan to do in-house training, not for security grades, but just the normal training that a security guard should have.
And Luke also asked, do you do close protection? I guess that's personal protection of people.
Personal protection. We're not doing it now, but we are going to expand into that direction as well.
Okay. Carry on.
Yeah, no, go for it. Oh, okay, thanks. I did receive one on social media, and they're asking, have you noticed a spike increase in your insurance on your vehicles? Actually, I know this person quite well. They do have quite a big fleet. And I remember chatting to them about this specifically. Well said. So they've noticed in recent months that they've had excessive spikes in their vehicle business insurance on all of their vehicles. Have you noticed the same with you guys? Because I mean, there is a certain level of risk.
Yeah, no, I haven't noticed that. I only recently insured all of the vehicles. So it's still the same where it was for the last, let's say, 5 months.
Okay. I know he actually owns a logistics company, and he did lose one of his vehicles the other day. So they actually just do general goods transport, and their insurance just went something crazy in the past few months. I remember he was complaining about it.
Verna's asked, does Eugene have any hope for the future of South Africa?
Oh, I want to have, but it's difficult. It's difficult to find hope in South Africa. But no, I don't think I can see any hope for South Africa going forward. Talking about 10 years from now, it's just getting worse.
Yeah.
I think I think we actually had this conversation on a live stream the other day, where South Africa is past a certain point where it would take 40 years to get it back to a form at which, if we had to stop all of the shenanigans today, and cut everything off and make sure things ran right and there was zero corruption and really get all of the systems back online. It would take something like 40 years to get South Africa just to where it was previously before all of the neglect. It's not something we would ever actually see in our lifetime.
Eugene?
Well,
yes. I have to say that, when you listen to Cyril Ramaphosa's State of the Nation address, where he talks about no crime in 10 years and education system would be perfect and all the hospitals would be fixed. I mean, talk about a load of BS.
And the
no, if you look at all of the promises the last 20 years, that it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
There is no way. Wishful thinking.
I think BEE, quite honestly, I think BEE has destroyed South Africa.
That was a big step in the destruction, yes.
Because you've got incompetent people running, companies which are worth billions of dollars or billions of rand, and there's so much corruption, they're destroying them.
Yeah. That is bad. It's real bad.
Yeah. All right, guys, look, if there are no further questions hang on, we got one from Martin. When you catch someone on your property, you are allowed to use minimum force to contain the suspect. Can it be used in court as a defense when the suspect or police accuse you of assault?
That's a difficult one. Well, if you catch the guy on your property, you cannot shake his hand and say, "Listen, please leave the property." But if you hurt him and he doesn't hurt you back, you can get in trouble. Even if you catch the guy in your house and he hasn't got a weapon in his hand, or you have to use the minimal. How can I say that?
Minimal force.
Yes.
And then you can be had up for assault.
Yeah, or maak op hy is, if you guys understand that.
Yeah. Do you know what? even in a case where you do assault him and he does assault you, both of you can open cases. Both of you will go and sit for that evening. It's not a case of the second you assault him, you can be charged. Full stop. There's no because he assaulted me, I assaulted him. You will still be charged with assault. And I know, and this is something I would like to share with you is, and I'm not going to say how I know the story, but a vehicle was being broken into, and they usually use a long spike, and the thief turned around to stab the vehicle owner, and the vehicle owner punched the thief. And when the vehicle owner ended up at SAPS, they wanted to arrest the vehicle owner for punching the thief. Even though the thief got away, they still wanted to make an arrest for admitting to assaulting the burglar, trying to steal the vehicle.
Now,
it's ridiculous, Scott. You got to be so careful of how much force you use on your property or for your property. You got to be so careful.
Yeah. Now, Jarko's asked, where do you see your company in 3 years' time, and what other services do you want to incorporate into your company by what time?
Well, in 3 years, I want to be, basically through the whole South Africa. But that's just big dreaming. So I'm still going to work hard, and my team wants to work hard to get us there. And then we want to do everything security. So like the vehicle tracking, bodyguarding, we want to go into all of that. So hopefully, within the next, let's say, 3 years, get to that point that we've got everything South Africa in the company going on, and then just grow from there.
Right.
Yeah, I hope that answers the question.
Joshua asks, what advice does Eugene have for young white South Africans who are being hindered by BEE from jobs and universities?
Yeah, they must just push through and try their best. I know it's difficult, but yeah, if you keep on working and you keep on pushing, you'll push through. I don't think anything should stop somebody's dream. Something will maybe try, but must just push through.
Right. Now,
Scott, I think another one off of what Joshua said is, and you can attest to this. I mean, this is something you see on a daily basis as well as myself. I mean, we get calls for postgraduates, numerous postgraduates with degrees that cannot find work. They go overseas, and this is where the whole brain drain ties in. Young South Africans, educated, and they have their age on their side, and this is what is so appealing about overseas. There's no directed persecution or targeted persecution because of their race or ethnicity or whichever it may be. So they look at greener pastures overseas, and this is how we're losing a lot of this minority. So yeah, yes, it can be extremely difficult for a young minority individual to try and find work out here. Scott, your view on that?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think what has happened is they've made it so hard for the white population to get employment that it's actually forcing people to leave the country so that they can support their family. And then you got Hippo Eyes Ramaphosa saying, oh, we need these white South Africans to stay in the country, we need their skills. And yet he won't get rid of BEE. You know, he talks with a forked tongue, he really does.
Yeah, there are thousands, I mean, leaving. This we know. It's scary.
It's a huge exodus. Okay, now look, I think there are no more questions in the side chat. I just want to thank you, Dwayne, for joining us, and thank you, Eugene, for sharing your experiences with us and your life with us. And I also want to thank... Sorry, carry on, Eugene.
I just said it's a big pleasure. Thanks for having me.
That's a pleasure, and we'll put your contact details down below the video so that people can listen to the video and then contact you if they're looking for security. And I also want to thank all the regulars who are in the side chat and the people who are watching. I hope you've found the discussion informative and interesting. We will be every Wednesday endeavoring to have different types of people on who've had different careers and roads and journeys and things happening within their lives. So that's what Real People is all about. And if anyone here who's listening right now feels that they would like to be on Real People, I'm going to put my email address into side chat. Just send me an email and just say Real People in the title, and we'll have a bit of a chat to see what your situation is, and you might just be on the program. There you go. It's homestays@gmail.com. All right, Dwayne, do you want to say anything in closing?
Yes, most certainly. Guys, I'd like to thank you for joining us on this live stream. Remember, Sunday night, another live stream, and do go and take a look at our Facebook pages. We do have social media links. We are on Telegram. We are on Facebook. Join. Get involved in the discussion. And don't forget, tap that like button. Hit subscribe. Click that bell. And we'll see you again. Scott, Eugene, thank you guys so very much for being on the live stream and having the live stream. And I'm going to call it a night.
Okay, and Eugene, would you like to just wrap up by talking to the people watching and just saying what you feel about the future, and any particular message about how your company can help them as far as security is concerned?
Yeah. Well, I think everybody battling in South Africa should just keep on battling. They mustn't give up. And according to I haven't prepared to say something about the question you asked. Just thanks for having me, and it was nice speaking to you guys.
Okay, fantastic. All right, guys, have a great evening, and please be safe. And I'm going to wrap up this live stream now. And Eugene, we look forward to hearing more from you in the future, a couple of years down the track when you've got a huge nationwide business.
Cool, thanks, guys.
Okay.
Cheers. Bye.
Okay, cheers, everybody. Take care. Bye for now.